A man has been shot by federal agents during an immigration enforcement operation, and that man has unfortunately died, marking a second deadly encounter this month amid intensified federal immigration action. And let's take you now live to our correspondent, Jagruti. And Jagruti, thank you so much for your time. What is the latest coming out from Minnesota?
Well, we've just had a press conference from the mayor of the city, Jacob Frey, and the police chief, Brian O'Hara. The police chief spoke first. He said that the police at 9 a.m. local time received reports that involving federal law enforcement officers arrived to an adult male with gunshot wounds. Life-saving aid was given at the scene, but he was pronounced dead in hospital. They believe that the individual is a 37-year-old white male, Minneapolis resident, and they believe a U.S. citizen. They've had no official reports of what's led to the shooting, and they've been looking through the video seen on social media. And the video that's circulating appearing to show federal agents tackling an individual to the ground. And then you hear gunshots being fired and the agents sort of step back. We're not getting verification of this particular footage of the incident. We don't know the exact details of that video, but that is social media is what the Minneapolis law enforcement are working with at the moment. They demand for federal agencies to operate with the same discipline and humanity that effective law enforcement demands. Those were the words of Brian O'Hara. You had Mayor Jacob Frey, who then appealed directly to the White House, saying how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end. He's talking about this federal immigration operation that's seen ICE agents flood cities across the U.S. To contain and crack down on illegal immigration. We've had confirmation from the Department of Homeland Security via social media post of their account of what happened. They said that DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun seen here. And there was a photo of that gun that the DHS posted on at the bottom of this social media post. They said the officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. We expect those to come out at a press conference that should be happening anytime now, if it hasn't already begun. And the post from the Department of Homeland Security continues: fearing for his life and the lives and the safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but was pronounced dead at the scene. They say the suspect had 2 magazines and no ID. Since then, we're hearing reports of clashes between protesters and federal agents, which we've seen over the last few weeks since the shooting of Renee Good as well in the city of Minneapolis.
And like you say, as these protests continue, how have the people of Minneapolis reacted to the latest shooting? I mean, because since the death of Renee, we've seen a number of protests taking place in Minneapolis.
Yes, we have. The most recent one was on Friday. Protesters braced the sub-zero temperatures because there is also a storm coming from the south to the east coast of the United States, bringing very, very cold temperatures. And Minneapolis is one of those cities that's seen freezing weather. And despite that, protesters came out to demonstrate against the presence of ICE agents in the city. And we are seeing the presence of protesters on the streets now. We understand from reports that tear gas has been deployed to quell the protesters. Brian O'Hara, the police chief, at the time of that press conference just now, said that there was an unlawful assembly happening in Minneapolis because police have asked people to clear the area where this latest incident has occurred. They're calling on people to disperse. They've requested aid from Minnesota State Patrol, and the police is asking everyone to remain calm. And the police chief said, "Do not destroy our city."